really did it. Hey, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got Josh in the house.
What's up?
How we doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm good.
Man, we're talking about so much shit right now. We're talking so much that we were never going to start this podcast if we didn't just start the podcast.
We're talking shit, but let's do
Where do you want to go?
motorcycles, and we can talk about food and food blogging.
Well, let's get into it. Who are you? How do you introduce yourself to people? And what did you come, what were you writing right now? What did you write over here?
Oh, okay. Well, Joshua Simon. Online, I go by The Hangry Writer. So I'm a food blogger. I promote restaurants. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.
And how long you been doing that?
God, it's been like 5 or 6 years.
And you're blowing up. First of all, congratulations. You're blowing up and you're fucking traveling and I ran into you in Paris, which I think is a great story. We'll talk about it in a bit. You just came from Brazil, which is awesome. Why did you start this? When did you see that there was potential in this? And when did you actually see it blow up?
Well, how did I start this? God, I'm going to blame my father. He was a foodie. He used to clip articles from the local newspaper about new restaurants and things, and he would keep those articles in a folder.
Really?
Yeah, and
Wow.
then he'd drag us all over town, and we'd always be trying new food. And sometimes, God, as a kid, it's just like, Dad, I just want to go back to that one restaurant and eat this. And he's like, oh, no, we got to try a new place. But anyways, so as I got older and I got a motorcycle, I was like, okay, all of a sudden that allows me to get anywhere I want in Los Angeles. So I started bopping around and trying different food. And then I got more into Instagram, and I started eating with some other food bloggers that kind of showed me the way. So I started making, horrible pictures and horrible little videos. And, as time progressed, they got a little better and a little better. And I just remember, I think when I had 1,000 followers, I was like, holy shit, people actually care what I'm eating. I'm like, these people care. So I was like, that's cool. And now I've got 100,000 followers, which just happened, which is major for me.
That is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Come down, 100,000 followers.
No,
that's fucking huge, bro.
Yeah.
For anybody,
bro, I remember that
for anybody, that's badass.
Yeah, it's cool. I remember when I was striving to hit 5,000. I'm like, how long is this gonna take? And the cool part though is every once in a while I get a post that it goes viral. And in my mind, viral is like 1 million or more.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty viral.
Yeah. I've had a few of them. And so just recently, I did one about 106 Seafood Underground, which is a restaurant in Lenox, which is right next to Inglewood. And it's in this guy's backyard. And he does Mexican seafood. And it's really good. So anyways, that post is probably currently 1.8 or 1.9 million views. But the shares is what gets me excited. It's been shared over 100,000 times.
Wow.
I'm like that has potential to really blow up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just kind of fun to watch that stuff. At the same time, you get kind of obsessive about it. You're constantly looking at it and seeing how it's performing.
Do you, you're obviously posting on YouTube as well, right?
I do. I should be concentrating on YouTube, but it's kind of like third degree for me. I'll post on Instagram and TikTok, and then if I remember to, I'll put it on Facebook. And then YouTube, I think what they're pushing is shorts.
Right.
Just like everybody else's reels. But YouTube is still sticking it to 1 minute or less.
Right. They're limiting it. Yeah.
Yeah, which means I'd have to take some of my videos and chop them down for YouTube. So if I wasn't so lazy, I would do that because it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am on YouTube. I think it's 28,000 followers there. Yeah.
What you just use your iPhone, right? Do you use any other equipment? Do you edit on computers? Do you edit on your phone?
100% on my phone.
Fucking aren't they amazing?
It really is. And I actually have an advertising agency. That's my background with this. For 25 plus years, my wife and I own an advertising agency, and I always did sales and business development. I'm good at talking to people. Love talking to people for a brief amount of time.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
And we have a professional camera, and I don't use it because I believe there's an aspect to social media that people like to see. Jesus, how do you say it? Not professional, but
casual, natural.
I'm missing the term, but I'm sure the people know exactly what I'm trying to say.
You like using your iPhone versus a professional camera?
Yeah, like more homegrown stuff.
But is it more organic this way because you're using your phone, like the outcome of the video, or is it more organic when you're actually taking the video versus? Because like if you pull out a camera at a restaurant, it doesn't feel as natural and it feels very awkward.
Yeah, well, there's that too. I mean, I do have some other equipment, like some tripods and some lights, but I try to keep it small because it just gets annoying. And, I'm on a motorcycle. I don't want to bring so much with me.
Right.
But, when you try to keep it, I guess, more organic, I think people respond to it better. Like, I know I do have some friends that do this, and they...
Did you air quote organic? What a dick! What a dick! What?
Well, I'm still lost. I'm still at a loss for words on what the term I was trying to come up with. But amateur, like more amateur, yeah. So when you do use a professional camera and you really edit it nice, people don't respond the same way.
Right.
They like to see the real basic stuff. So, I keep it to the phone. I might use a microphone every once in a while. That's because part of what comes along with being a food blogger is you get to meet a lot of restaurateurs, and they ask for help managing their Instagram accounts. So one thing I do is manage Instagram accounts for restaurants.
Interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's
a lot of work.
I'm constantly creating content. Yeah. There was one point where I had like 5 different accounts. Of each one I had to make 3 posts a week for. Usually videos. It's a lot of creating,
Yeah.
But sometimes you want to interview the owners, and
right.
I don't have professional equipment like this. I'm very jealous. But those little microphones make a huge difference.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have the Adobe suites with you at all?
I don't know. My wife and the employees have all that stuff.
Check if they have it. The reason I bring it up is because Adobe just released, it's still in beta, but you have access to it. And I used it once, which was fucking mind-blowing because I have the Rode ones, the Rode mics, the wireless. And I did a podcast in downtown LA at a boxing ring. And it was basically a big warehouse. And I've never had so much echo in my life. And I like this sound because people will watch a shitty video with good sound, but not a good video with bad sound.
Right.
And Adobe just released, it's called Podcaster Voice Enhancer. I don't know how the fuck it works. It's all AI, obviously. It fucking cleaned it up, and it sounded so crystal. It sounded like this. And it was just those little mics. And it's free if you already have the Adobe suites.
Yeah, it's amazing what you could do with actual software. I'm doing everything on CapCut.
I love CapCut. I just left Adobe for CapCut right now. I don't know if I want to say that, but no, but it's true. Like I started.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's fucking great, man.
CapCut on your phone?
On my phone and on the computer. They just released a Mac version.
Oh, great. Yeah. I think Adobe is obviously more professional. There's a lot more you can do with it, but it's like, do you even want to go down that road?
Dude, I edit a lot. I edit a lot of videos.
Yeah.
A lot of videos. I think my problem with my Instagram is I add too much to my videos, and there's just too many cuts, and like I really take a whole fucking day and put in like in a minute and 30 seconds of like motorcycles and this and that and this and that. And but I love it, and I do that on CapCut so much easier than Adobe,
Yeah, it's amazing once you get familiar with the software. Like I think I started with iMovie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 10 years ago I messed around with iMovie, and I kind of got it working, and I was like, oh, I know how to use iMovie. And I stopped, and then I got into the food blogging, and I started using iMovie again. And my friend's like, what are you doing? You should be using, I think it's InShot was the popular editing thing. So I used InShot, and then somebody suggested CapCut, and CapCut does give you a lot of control. So I use it.
You could do anything on. I think I'm just gonna shoot out a number, but I believe when I downloaded on my Mac about 2 months ago, it was the number 4 or number 3 creative app in the App Store being downloaded.
I believe it.
So yeah. Anyways, that's perfect. So you just use your phone basically. You edit and do everything from your phone, and
yeah. I did. Yeah. My iPhone 12.
I know.
It's the workhorse.
So tomorrow I get my phone. It's the first time I ordered a Max in a long time. I walked away from the bigger iPhones like years ago. Like I tried it for 1 or 2 years, and that was it. I was like, it's too big. It's too unnecessary. But I ordered it this year because of the bigger battery. The Max now has a 120 or 122 millimeter lens. So the zoom's crazy, and then the new action mode is amazing. So
I saw a video on that where it steadies it. Oh my god!
And he was using the 122 or the 120 milliliter. What am I saying? Millimeter.
You should know this. You're a gun guy, right?
I know. Yeah.
So I don't usually go with the larger one, and the main reason is because it's usually in my pocket on the motorcycle, right?
Right.
But I think we'll be okay. I don't think you'll notice much of a difference.
With the bigger one?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'll try.
I don't think so.
I'll try.
The thing is, it does have a better. It's stupid because I think this is the second year in the last 5 years that they made the regular sized one and the bigger one with a different feature, and that's pretty fucked up because it's usually like the same features. Just do you want a bigger one or a smaller one?
Yeah. I kind of enjoyed having the smaller one and knowing it had the exact same features. But anyways, I'm ready to give my $2,000 apple, my donation.
What bike are you riding today?
Today I am riding my favorite bike. I've had at least 20 plus bikes in my life, and I stumbled across this MT-09. It's a 2017 Yamaha MT-09, and I bought it from somebody that already put all the goodies on it, like a shock absorber and some internals in the forks, steering stabilizer, and I got it set up for my weight, and I've just been loving this bike, man. I just really groove with this thing.
That's awesome. There's a rumor. I don't know if it's a rumor you told me in Paris, but you don't buy new bikes. You go used and already fixed up and set up, right?
Oh yeah, because
No, I like that perspective. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of guys that buy bikes and they don't really ride. Kind of like what's happening to you. Life happens,
right?
It's kind of happening to me too. But so there's a lot of guys that buy bikes and they'll pimp them out and they don't really ride them.
No.
So I have no problem buying a used bike. You look, has it been mangled? Does it have a salvage title? Is there any smoke coming out of it? No, fine. I'm good with it. And so that's why I always buy the used bikes. Is there somebody knocking on the door with a package?
No. I was making. No. I wanted to publish that too, but yeah, go ahead.
So, anyways, I've got this MT-09. It's just a beautiful bike, and it handles well. It's quick. It's everything about it. I love it. It's comfortable. Got a big ugly box on the back, and that makes life so much better. Currently, my other bikes are a 2015 Yamaha FJR 1300. So that's good for like long distance, or if it's cold out, because it's got a big windshield on it and hand warmers and all that. Heated grips.
Yeah.
And the bike actually runs a little hot itself. And then I've got what I call my hot rod, which is the 2003 Kawasaki ZRX 1200. Apparently I've wanted one for a long time, and I just kind of stumbled across it. Let's see what happened. I was about to spend $20,000 on a new Harley, and I didn't want to spend $20,000 on a new Harley. So
that's just the beginning.
We can go on about Harleys in a minute, but so this bike popped up. I think it was $7,000. I bought it, and then I ended up putting a lot more money into it just because I like started falling in love with it, and I did all the Öhlins front and back and Brembo, and I'm still in the process of like kind of getting it set up for me. I want it to handle as well as it can handle, and then kind of go out and see what it can do. But it's still a 2003 1200. It's going to be a heavy bike, but it's fun, like kind of getting it into shape. Because when I first got it, it was just this big wobbly hunk of, it was bad.
How much you pick it up for him?
I think I paid $7 or $75 for it, which was kind of on the high end.
Yeah.
But, it had some cool stuff like performance machine wheels, a slightly built engine with higher compression pistons, and the flat slide carbs, which are they were pretty cool at the time. Since then, I've taken them off and gone with stock carbs because the flat sides are really only good for wide open throttle.
Right.
And I'm barely there ever.
Yeah.
But, and then the last bike is a Harley. I picked up a 2012 Harley Davidson Sportster XR 1200X, which is kind of like a flat tracker.
Yeah.
It's the only Sportster that came with like real suspension, like upside down forks.
Is that the one with the checkered flag, the orange tank and the checkered flag on the side?
Yes, but mine is white. That's
funny. Maybe it was our conversation. I don't know, but for some reason I saw a post on one. I was like, that looks so fucking great. I worked at Harley when they sold those.
Oh, okay.
And I saw that, and I was looking on eBay. I was like interested in buying one. I was like, oh, there was a really good deal, but they're holding their value.
Yeah, that's kind of how I ended up with it. Iconic Motorbike Auctions is one of I grab my coffee and I open up my computer and I look at Iconic, and there's the X model, which is an upgrade over the regular XR 1200.
Right.
It came with better suspension and floating rotors, and I was like, I thought it was a good deal, so I bought it. And I ended up paying for shipping, and then I registered it, and then I bought new tires. And by the time I was done with that, pretty much we're at what it's worth. So the goal was to sell it, but now I've been putting around on it. I'm like, there's something fun about putting around on a Harley,
Right.
At first I was like, oh, this fucking tractor of an engine, but it has this character about it that just grows on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. When I think I might have mentioned it to you, but the BMW's gone. I had an accident on that.
Beamer's gone. So now it's the streak light and the live wire. But my point is that when I was riding the BMW so much that for LA, I had 32,000 miles on it in like 2.5 years. No traveling. This was all city. Yeah, city riding, just running errands, handling this like every day. My go-to bike. Yeah.
And I would enjoy that so much that every now and then I'd be like, the Harley. But then when I get on the Harley and I would ride it on the weekends, it's just a different fucking ride. That sound, the vibration, it's especially when the weather gets crispier and cooler. It's so perfect. It's a different feeling.
It is. Yeah. I tried a bagger.
I love them.
I bought a Kawasaki bagger just to see what it was like. And I don't know if the bike was a piece of shit or just bagger. No offense.
Kawasaki, bro.
Well,
I'm kidding.
I'm talking about the size of the bike and because 90% of what I do is splitting lanes around LA.
I will split lanes with anybody with a skinnier bike on my bagger. No problem.
It's not easy.
No problem. To me, it's the same. To me, it's the same. I ride my BMW. Well, my BMW is actually wider.
Well, you had a fucking GS, didn't you?
Yeah, GSA.
They're
GSA.
tanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, people couldn't keep up with me on splitting lanes. They really could. I'm talking about the average rider. I'm not talking about like some fucking guy that rides every day a street bike and obviously his bike's thinner. I'm talking about the average rider. The space they take up is no different than the space that I would take up on a fucking GS or the Street Glide.
Your live wire must feel like a fucking moped though compared to those bikes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. But a heavy moped.
Oh, they're heavy?
Oh, they're so fucking heavy.
Right. Okay.
They're so heavy and they're It has a top heavy feel to it. It's heavy. It is like a moped, and it's heavy, but it feels better quality than a moped.
I think my Kawasaki bagger was also top heavy, which just led to, dissatisfaction of riding it in the city. But, I tried it,
I did my DMV test 20 years ago on a street glide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I did it at the Glendale dealer, and I'll never forget the day when I went there. I had a buddy of mine that, it was a buddy of mine's buddy. Give him, the deal was buy him a 6-pack. He'll let me borrow the scooter to do the DMV test.
Okay? A street glide?
No, not on a street glide, on a scooter.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I own a street glide. This guy, I was going to buy him a 6-pack. He was going to let me borrow the scooter.
Yeah.
When I got to the DMV, the guy didn't answer my calls. He never showed up, and I'm there with the street glide.
Right.
Okay? The lady looks at me. And she's like, are you going to do it on that? And I go, yeah. And she's like, are you kidding? And I was like, no. And she's like, I don't know why she said this. It was very random. She goes, there's men that are 6 feet tall with big beards and tattoos. They come in little scooters, right? And I'm like, yeah. Why would I do that?
That would be fun to actually film.
That would be actually. But it was so random. It was so random for her to say that. I go back there, and long story short, when I get there, there's probably 5 or 6 people watching me. The 2 DMV security guards are watching me. The ladies watching me. Some people got off their car. They're like, I got to see this. The first in between the cones and the first circle, everybody's like, get the fuck out of here. This guy's got it. And they fucking walked away. Like, that was it. And I passed my DMV on a street glide.
How long had you been riding?
Prior to that?
Yeah.
So maybe 8 years. And then I owned that street glide probably 3 years. I had that street glide 2 years.
Yeah. So once you have like 6 months to a year on a bike.
And I was also working for Harley Davidson.
Yeah,
and I was moving the bikes down. No, of course I got it down. But I will tell you, on a bagger, I don't even care if it's an ultra, a street glide, a road glide. I can do that DMV test fucking no problem. Like, piece of cake. It's easier than a fucking Dyna or other bikes, other V-twin bikes. Like, the bagger ones are so good. That's why the police use those baggers. That's why they do those cone competitions, because they fucking handle and balance really well. Really well. So when you're saying your Kawasaki was kind of difficult, maybe you're right. That was top heavy. You don't feel that top heaviness with a Harley. Of course, the first time you grab it, you're like, oh, this is so fucking heavy. It's 700-800 pounds. It is. But when you ride, I mean, I can fucking lock the steering wheel, hold the brake down a little bit, and give a little gas, and I can just do a perfect circle all day.
Watching those cops go through those cones, they just drag on the crash bars. They just lay it down on that and do circles on that. It's still extremely impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah. Very impressive. But it's more impressive to other bikers that ride smaller bikes and look at the Harleys like, oh my God, that's so big,
Right.
Like, do you know Jim Hyden?
Nah.
Rawhide. They do the training course in Santa Clarita.
Okay.
So they have an amazing facility where they teach you how to ride GSs, and now they have the Pan Americas, and they teach you. They have like 20 feet drops. You ride inside lakes. They have insane training course.
That sounds like fun.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's intimidating. It's fun. It's scary, and it's awesome because you will learn how to fucking ride a bike there.
Do you get to use their bike?
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah. You could bring your bike. You can rent their bike, whatever they want. It's 3 days. They have a little campground there, and they have little fucking huts where you can like stay in, or you can stay outside. The place has outdoor showers. Food comes included. The food's fucking amazing.
Oh.
The food is fucking amazing. Jim's very strict about the chefs and the cooks. Top notch of food. My point is, Jim said it best. You look at these GSs, and they look like elephants, and they feel like an elephant. But when you finish one of these classes, they're nimble like a mouse. They're so fucking nimble. You can just maneuver them so easy.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens once you get used to a bike. it's, it's when you're moving, like my largest bike is this. My bagger is the Yamaha FJR 1300. That's my bagger now. I wanted something that was, reliable and goes fast. But anyways, when you're trying to,
Hey.
oh, sorry about that. Did I offend you?
No, not me. Hold on. Wait. Oh. Come on, man.
She found the button.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, it's bro. The bike comes with 145 horsepower, 100 foot-pounds of torque. You don't need to upgrade the engine. You don't need new suspension. It's just done. Yeah. It's like the fourth iteration of that. Although, how many street glides have there been? I don't know. But anyways, where the hell was I going? Oh, when you're moving it on the kickstand or moving it on the garage, yeah, it's heavy. But once you get rolling, they're very light.
Right.
You start feeling it again when you try to ride aggressively in tight turns. That's when you can really feel a heavy bike. But on stuff like Angela's Crest, it's like smooth. It's really nice. I don't even try and take it into like the tight stuff in Malibu. That wouldn't be any fun.
Yeah. Like Las Flores or something like that.
Yeah. No fun on a big bike.
What's that one street? Puma, something like that?
I think it's Puma.
Puma, right?
Is that the one that's one way going down?
No, it's not a one way.
There's one street that I can never find. Granted, I don't look for it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I'll go riding with, and it goes down and it's one way. It's really cool.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. That's off Mulholland. And basically you're just on Mulholland. Then there's this one turn that you take, and it's just this very curvy, fun little road, and then it kicks back onto Mulholland.
Yeah, there's so many awesome roads. Yeah. We're blessed. We're so blessed to have those roads.
Did you see the post I posted yesterday?
I did not.
Oh my God, man! I San Gabriel Canyons by Azusa. Mm-hmm. Have you been up there?
I may have.
Crystal Lake.
I probably have.
Oh my God, man. What a fuck. I mean, I've been there years ago, but yesterday. No, it's Tuesday. Jesus. On Sunday. Went to the bike shed, and then they were going to check out this castle. And I was like, a castle? Anyways, we left early. I was with my buddy Jaime, and we passed by the castle, and we're like, dude, this is not a castle. This is just a pile of rocks. Like, this is so absurd. We're not going to wait for anybody to check out this pile of rocks. Rubel Castle or something like that. Rubel, Rubel, Rubel Castle.
I don't know.
Anyways, if you look it up, it's what you see on Google is more than enough.
Okay.
But then I was like, you know what? There's some canyons here that I used to go on, and I haven't been on it in a long time. And we found that San Gabriel Canyon's fucking so beautiful, man. It's a mixture of like Angela's Crest and Crestline or Lake Arrowhead. Mm-hmm. That's the vibe that it has.
Yeah, I'll do a little more exploring up that way once the weather tones down. Mm-hmm. During the summer, I'm like, no, I'm over it.
Yeah. No, strongly recommend that one.
I actually want to ride to Big Bear. I've never ridden up there.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
That road is so awesome.
Yeah. Big Bear. I mean, on a bike, you'd be surprised. I think it's like an hour, 20 minutes from LA to Lake Arrowhead. That where the lake's at, and you can get burgers and sandwiches. An hour and 15 minutes. Cut through traffic. Of course, the first part's kind of boring, but once you start getting at the bottom of the hill and you're going up, great. Time flies by. You get up there, have a burger, come right back. It's not a big deal.
There's a donut place up in Big Bear. I remember they just had an apple fritter the size of your head, and it was actually good. I was like, this is an amazing. And they had a pineapple fritter as well. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll find it. What's one of your favorite rides, and what's your favorite current kitchen?
Current kitchen?
Well, current restaurant. Current kitchen that you like them cooking for you.
The donut place, I just found it. It's called Dank Donuts in Big Bear. So if you're in Big Bear, definitely try those donuts.
Danked donuts.
Dank donuts.
Dank.
Yeah.
Like the weed.
Yeah, like the weed. So this favorite thing is so tough for me because I'm always trying new stuff and I like so many different kinds of food.
Okay, let's go categories real quick. My favorite
And then there's politics involved, so I can't have a favorite because this guy's going to get all fucking upset. But let's talk tacos. I love tacos.
What's a good taco? Look, okay, the two things that I struggle with living in this area in Studio City is not sushi. Sushi's...
You're fucking flooded with sushi.
Dude, we're flooded. I think Evan from LA in a Minute said there was like 150, if not more, sushi places on Ventura.
Yeah.
But I can't find a good taco place here. And I can't find a good steakhouse. I had a Korean friend of mine, Perry Lee, and he's like, I'm coming to Studio City. I want to see you. I want to eat meat. Let's go to a steakhouse. And I'm like, steak in Studio City? What the fuck? And I asked some developers here. I asked some friends, some neighbors. I asked the Cigar Pound. Everybody's like, and please don't say lalas. Like, it's just not.
It's tough. Yeah. So for tacos over here, I don't know a lot of places, but you do have Tacos 1986, I believe. Are they still in Studio City or no?
They just opened up in Studio City less than a year ago, and I think they're still operating.
Okay, well, if they're there, yeah, their adobada is pretty tasty. It's like al pastor on the spit.
Yeah.
And
they put guac on everything. They're really good.
And they have a matcha salsa, which is a very dark, oily salsa.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to kill you, but it's very mild. So definitely try that salsa on anything. But, carnitas, I love Carnitas El Artista. I used to manage their Instagram account. So, that's the sad part about managing an account. So basically you're going to the restaurant, you're filming the food, and of course you're going to eat it. You get tired of the food. No matter how good it is, you get tired of it. But Carnitas El Artista is over in Inglewood. It's excellent carnitas. And then
Are you telling me people pay you in food? No.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Wait. I think that's the most I've ever used this, by the way.
People try to pay me in food, but yeah. It's not going to pay the rent. Carnitas El Momo is excellent. Are you a carnitas guy?
I love carnitas. I love tacos.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I want to put together, on Tuesday night, the Los Angeles motorcycle riders on Facebook get together. They bullshit, and then they hit up like a taco shop or what's the place, the Moto Club in downtown? The bike shed. Yeah, sometimes they go to the bike shed. I want to put something together where it's like a taco hop, where we go hit up like we just ride around LA and hit up like 3 different taco places.
That'd be so fucking dope.
Yeah. I can show people where all the great tacos are. Sometimes you got to go to a neighborhood that's not so, swanky.
Yeah.
But that's where the good tacos are.
That's where the good tacos are.
Yeah.
What do you think of, again, I know this is a sensitive topic and this is your business, so you don't have to answer to anything you don't want to answer. El Sal's in Glendale, San Fernando, Chevy Chase.
I don't think I've ever been there.
Oh, El Sal's to me is really good. I don't know if it's as good as it was. I've been eating at that place for 25 years.
Is it like a Mexican restaurant, or is it more like a taco shop?
It's a taco shop.
Okay.
It's a taco shop. It's a hole-in-the-wall taco shop. They did remodel it in the last 5 or 7 years, because before that it was fucking horrific, but the best tacos ever. Very greasy, a lot of fucking cheese, great meat, great seasoning, lots of onions. I mean, their salsa's on point.
Is it birria?
No.
Okay, you know what birria is,
Of course,
right?
I love birria.
Okay, yeah, birria is in Los Angeles. Birria is the new black. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, everybody.
I haven't had some good birria in a while, but we do have a lot.
Northridge, there's a van or an RV or whatever you want to call it, or a fucking
troll serving birria out of the back of their car.
I found them on Instagram, and they had a review that blew up. I'm talking about millions of fucking hits.
Oh,
and
really?
A buddy of mine that's a foodie went there, and I went with him. He loved it. He says that was the best thing he's ever ate. I liked it a lot. I just hated waiting because there was a big fucking line. Like, I was like, this is not worth 45 minutes to an hour to fucking wait for. That was my mentality. But if their line wasn't there and you prep it right, fucking amazing.
Bro, I got to say that's one of my favorite things about having a large, being like a Z-list celebrity is a lot of times I'll get to skip the line. That's like, because I fucking hate lines. Like sometimes I'll go someplace like, I want to eat that, but I can't stand waiting in line. So sometimes they're like, hey, come on up. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's That's awesome.
It's the simple things for me.
That's not simple, man. People pay $400 extra for Universal Studios to skip lines, like for one day.
Barreria San Marcos.
I think that's the one that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's close to us. There's one in Van Nuys. I think they have 3 or 4 locations.
So I went to that one and
Birria, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. When I went to that one 3 years ago, that was the only one. And they blew up, and now they have like 4 locations or something.
It was a truck on the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, yeah. I used to post for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to feature them. I just haven't been eating a lot.
Maybe it was your post before, yeah.
I don't know if it blew up or not, but...
That was a white dude. Like a white kid. You're a white dude.
All the whites. No longer says kid. Yeah. But yeah, that's really good beer. I mean, that's good for beef birria. And then if there's another truck, Birria La Unica, I believe. It's in East LA. La Unica. Yeah. That's in East LA. And that's just a great taco hop, by the way. You find that birria truck, and then you're also going to find Mariscos Jalisco, which is a great fried shrimp taco.
Mariscos Jalisco.
Oh, oh no, I got that guy.
Yeah.
Mariscos
Jalisco.
Mariscos Jalisco.
I'm going to Jalisco. That's why this weekend, as a matter of fact.
He's going to hate me by the time this is over. They have a really good, it's like a fried shrimp taco, but it's actually shrimp and potato, and all of Los Angeles is in love with it. And then there's a couple other spots on that street, so.
I got a question for you. So you're a foodie. You like everything. What don't you like? Is there something you won't eat? Oysters, beans, I don't know, roaches, insects. Have you done the whole grasshopper thing?
Smelly tuna.
Are we talking about food still?
No, I didn't say that.
You totally said that.
I did say that.
I heard it. Like,
no, I pretty much eat everything.
Octopus.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Have you tried the like the fried crickets and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. Oaxacan food is like got tons of that, and I've managed an account for a Oaxacan food restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've had?
The one thing that I have not eaten, which is surprising, is I think it's called balut, which is like a partially fertilized duck egg. So when you crack it open, it's like a hard-boiled egg, but it's got like a small fetus in there too.
Oh, I just saw that. Filipinos eat that, right?
Filipinos eat it. And it's strange that I haven't eaten it because my wife is Filipino.
Wow. That is weird.
That being said,
have you been to the Philippines?
I have been to the Philippines. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But she's born in Connecticut, raised in New Mexico, and
yeah.
I eat more Filipino food than she does. But that's the one strange food that I would like to eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I eat everything. I love trying new stuff.
New York is considered the capital of pizza. Something. I don't know. But people go to New York, they want to try pizza. What would you consider LA? Would it be tacos? What would be the comparison?
If New York is pizza, then LA is tacos.
LA's tacos.
Yeah, and San Diego's burritos, right? They're really into burritos down there.
Big time, yeah. Wasn't it made there?
The
burrito was created in San Diego?
I doubt it.
Santiago. No, I know it's U.S. for sure. America made burritos.
I don't know about that, bro, because somebody just brought that up on
Leave
one
a
of
comment.
my posts.
Leave a comment.
Yeah, comment on this. But somebody actually mentioned that in one of my posts. So I did a quick Google search, and I could not see anything that said a burrito was invented in America.
Yeah, because my understanding and what I've heard and what I've believe I've searched, but at the same time I've searched so many things. Burritos, the tortilla, like that ridiculous big size of putting all your food in, was made in America. Like that
makes sense,
right?
Yeah.
Which is also during that time I researched the fortune cookie is American.
Fortune cookie is American.
You know, fortune cookie was American. And then there was a couple other items that it was just like, did you know? Blah, 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 blah. And this is years ago. This is before like, you know, Instagram and social media. So I don't know. I got to check it out. But I thought it was in San Diego, the burrito. Because before that, like even when I would go, like I'm gonna go to Hollis this weekend. I went to Hollis 25 years ago. And when you go there, even back then, there was no burritos. Like even in Guadalajara, there was no burritos. I was like, what? What's a burrito? I'm like, oh, and everywhere's tacos, and they use the stump of a tree, and they cut the taco meat in there for like events. And by the end of that event, in like a week, that wood is like people are eating wood.
Right,
like,
that's their chopping block.
Yeah, that's their chopping block.
That's the great thing about LA is there's so many varieties of tacos. I've really come to appreciate the taco. It's so amazing.
It's my favorite.
I love when people get offended, like if you put something strange and call it a taco, they're like, that's not a taco. It's like, bullshit. You know, you put it in a tortilla, you call it whatever the fuck you want. But I love people who just get offended by this stuff. It's the pizza people you brought up. They're the worst, man. That's not New York pizza. It's like, who gives a fuck? It's good pizza, you know? It's just, this is what it is. And it's hard dealing with it, man.
Yeah.
It's fun to get them all riled up and get them commenting. But I recently went to this great pizza place that's in Thousand Oaks. And initially I walked in and I saw that they have Detroit style, New York style, Sicilian style. And my immediately thought was, okay, one of them's going to be good, but there's no fucking way they're all good, right? They were all good. It was amazing pizza. And I'm not a pizza slut, you know, a little bit, but this place is really, anyways, it's called Slice House. It's in Thousand Oaks. And it's a new franchise. You're going to start seeing it pop up. But, God, the place has only been there like 4 months, and there's already a line out the door. So when you see Slice House, check it out.
Check it out.
Really good pizza. It's
off the 101?
Yeah, it's off the 101 in Thousand Oaks. But I think they're going to be in Burbank soon. There'll be a few of them. There's going to be one in Simi Valley as well. Yeah, you need these because you talk so much, right?
Yeah, no, big time, man.
I'm used to this.
Yeah, and you know, usually I kick on the AC like an hour before, but you know it's a little warm right now. Tacos. What about the Bay Area? Bay Area has such great food. Have you been up there lately? Have you done food reviews up there? Frisco.
Every once in a while I'll go up there, but I'm usually with family, so I can't get around. You know, I would usually go to like
family.
Yeah, God damn it, the family. That's why the older I get, the more I appreciate them. It's like, oh my God, my little kid's so cute.
Yeah,
but
adorable, by the way.
Usually
those
when I go,
eyes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. When I'm up in the Bay Area, I'm usually looking at dim sum and different kinds of Chinese food. And surprisingly, in Chinatown, there's a ton of disappointments. But
really?
Yeah. There's a lot of tourist spots up there.
Yeah.
So you just got to know what to avoid.
Did you go to Little Italy?
I don't think I've ever been to Little Italy.
Great pastas, great pizzas up there. Nice town, nice neighborhood. A lot of strip clubs too. It's like Little Italy and strip clubs. You know, great food. No, great environment.
Is it? I've been hearing a lot about San Fran lately. So is it still?
Dude, I don't know. I used to live in the Central Coast in Santa Cruz and in Monterey for a while. And then there was a time that I lived in San Francisco up in Twin Peaks. And during that time, I fucking loved San Francisco. Loved it. And now hearing everything that I'm hearing, it's so disappointing if it's true. It's so disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk shit. I mean, LA.
If it's true, exactly. If it's true.
Yeah,
and I'm sure everything has its... It's just San Francisco. You see, LA is so spread out that you have to go to the wrong neighborhoods to see parts of LA that you're going to be like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. Like, it's 2023 and people are living like this. It's fucking insane. But you got to go out of your way and find it. In San Francisco, I believe the size of San Francisco, it's like 7 by 7 miles. And it's just, everybody's just stacked up on top of each other. So if you have bad neighborhoods, that's just bleeding through the whole city. period.
Yeah, it's going to be exasperating.
Yeah, you're not going to escape it. And just seeing how the stores are all locked up, and where if you want to buy a bottled water, you got to get an associate to unlock it, to get your water. That's fucking insane.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. And then they have an app. I heard now there's so much human feces on the streets that there's an app that, like, if you walk by it, you can report it. Like, click, and then if you go on the app, it's just like it's fucking disgusting. It's
boy.
so wild. And that I heard like 2-3 years ago. So now, I don't know, man. I used to love San Francisco. I used to love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go back and check it out. But, yeah, there is some good food there. It's just, yeah, like I said, I'm usually with family, and I'm not exploring too much. It's hard when you have a huge group,
Yeah.
You got a lot of people.
No, San Francisco seafood is amazing. Clam chowder up there's amazing. The Little Italy's amazing. The Filipino community in Daly City, all those restaurants are amazing. You can get like the whole pigs almost every other block.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Filipino karaoke,
Oh, yeah. Apparently every Filipino can sing.
Yeah. No, they can sing. They can't sing, but they can sing. I used to work in 2000. In the year 2000, 23 years ago, I used to work for Glendale Glendale Mitsubishi, a car dealership. Mm-hmm. And there was this Filipino guy that worked there. He used to wear blue suede shoes, comb his hair like Elvis, and he would sing to every client that would buy a car from him. What's that?
I hear something.
Oh, that noise? That's the fridge.
Okay, all right, sorry.
That's the fridge. Yeah, the mic doesn't pick that up.
Okay, so blue suede shoes guy.
Yeah, anyways, it was a Filipino cat that every time he sold a car, he would sing Elvis. He would just, since my baby left. That's
awesome.
It was awesome. I mean, dude, this was 23 years ago, and I can remember this clearly. He would just dress like Elvis and, oh, you want to buy a car for me? And you're like, why is this Filipino guy talking to me like this at a car dealership? It's actually, now that I think, it was pretty fucking wild. But
That's in Glendale. I bought my first Harley in 2007 from Glendale Harley. They're really good guys to deal with. And that was the first and only, I think that's the first and only new bike I ever bought.
In 2007.
Yeah, and it was actually good to me. I think I put like 50,000 miles on that thing and just got bored of it. I moved on.
Yeah, purchasing for me with Glendale has been difficult, personally. But back in 2007, I was working for Van Nuys Harley Davidson. So, I had my own contacts there.
Do they exist?
Van Nuys was there for 48 years, and then they sold the building. So the owner and the business was owned by the same person, and the owner sold the business, and the guy that bought the business, Mike Moffitt, bought a property in Castaic, and he was going to build off the 5 in Castaic. What happened is that the person that owned the building as well, sold the building, and the new owners told us to kick rocks. In Castaic, they didn't build anything because there was some fucking insect or something where they couldn't build something stupid like that. So they had an emergency move, which is now Santa Clarita Harley Davidson.
Santa Clarita, right, with the Terminator.
Exactly, with the Terminator. Well, this was before the Terminator. Terminator took over 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So, and the only reason Harley approved that is at that time, Harley would never approve a dealership if they're not off a freeway. The only reason they approved that is because that was supposed to be a temporary move, and it just became a location. And then Oliver and the Terminator, Robert Patrick, they took it over less than 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Less than 5 years ago. But I was there when we moved back in 2010, 2011. Yeah, but that dealership was a hole in the wall, but very cool. It was a very cool spot.
Does your current bike have the M8 engine?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 2020.
How many miles are on that?
14,000? 14 and change.
Okay.
Why?
I saw... TikTok scares you. You get some of these mechanic guys that like, if you get an M8, you have to get this kit and you have to do this, that, and this. I'm wondering, do you really need to do that, or is that after a certain amount of miles you know, like after 20,000, you have to upgrade all this stuff to make it reliable. Because I was enthralled with the M8 engine. Like I saw that with just a camshaft and a tune, you picked up major horsepower on it.
That's right. We were talking about this in Paris too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You were thinking about a new bike, and I said, just
the CVO.
Yeah, just get a cam and a tune, and it'll wake up your bike. But you know, if you're looking for a different style of bike, that's all different.
No. I concluded it made no sense. I concluded I'm going to keep my setup.
Yeah,
I got it's almost paid off. I want to do two things. Realistically, I want to do three things now with the whole cam. I want to do the cams. I want to carbon fiber the whole thing, and which is cheaper than a paint job.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, dude, a paint job on a Harley right now is like minimum 10 grand.
Whoa,
minimum.
Bro. I had a bike painted 3,500, but that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, and I'm sure it was just the gas tank and the back fender.
No, it was a complete bike, but it was probably 2010 or something.
Dude, right now, you're lucky if you find anything good for 10 grand. And then the other issue is you're lucky if they finish it on time for anything. Because as soon as they get another project, they fucking stop your project, and you're like, what's going on?
My bike took a while to turn around. But.
Yeah, you're knocking on fucking doors. So I did the calculation. I've been in this business long enough where I was like, it'd be so much cheaper to just fucking buy a carbon fiber fender and carbon fiber saddlebags and a carbon fiber rear fender. It'd be way cheaper, and there's a performance aspect to it.
Don't they just have stuff that like pops right on top of your like it's like dressing that you can put on top of the tank?
I wasn't aware of that.
Like covers. I believe there's a lot of companies that just make covers now. So if you want to change the look of your tank, it just like pops on your existing tank.
I saw that. There's a girl, she's been on the podcast, and she's a nice girl. I want to give her a shout out. Moto Gal, Anna, and she got sponsored by one of those companies that just, it's a tank that just goes right over the tank. You just take off your gas cap, and it's just loop.
Yeah.
And it's like really nice and clean look and awesome. Not for a street glide, not for a bagger. The baggers, I think, are more complex. That's just like, that's for the Sportsters.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sportsters, and I think they might be doing it for Dynas.
Yeah, I think the one I saw was actually for a Sportster.
Yeah, because Anna has a Sportster. Yeah, I think she has a Sportster. She has like a 1200 custom or a Nightster, something like that. And she changed the whole look of her thing. She just dropped it on, and it's steady, and it's like, this is fucking awesome. This is great. No, on the Street Glide, they sell the front fairing cover. It's not a big deal. You know, three screws, take it off, put it on, lock it in. I already changed the front fender. You know, the front fender looks awesome. The side ones, I bought some on eBay. They were fucking fake carbon. It was carbon fiber paint. I was fuck, you know. Yeah. I should have known what the price. And then they do the fender and the saddlebags. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then I was looking at the Dakota Digital. Have you seen them?
Gauges?
Yeah.
Oh, you really want to pimp it out.
The Dakota Digital fucking things are badass, dude. They're all digital, badass, a lot of information, customized, syncs to your phone, you know, fucking.
I get it. Yeah, just really consider it, like, before you dump your... It's so easy to dump so much money into these things. You know?
Yeah.
Which is why with this Kawasaki, I went straight for suspension this time.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to make this thing handle well before I do any kind of pimp moves on it. And right now I'm like considering carbon fiber wheels for it, but I'm like, is that really just to impress other dudes, or is it really going to make my bike handle better?
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff is like...
I was up in the air with this fucking tripod, man, because they had a carbon fiber version of it, and I was like,
Oh, I was like, for the man cave?
Yeah, I was like, maybe I should, but it was fucking $700 for a carbon fiber. I was like, nah, I don't need this
versus
shit. This one's $315.
Yeah.
Or $299. This one's $299. The other one was like $750.
Well, you're buying real tripods. You're not buying the Amazon shit.
No, man, because this thing comes like, I can make it this small.
Oh, that's nice.
And to travel with, it's amazing. And that's why that's why they make a carbon fiber one, because the carbon fiber is half the weight. And they're like, if you travel, you fucking notice it. But I try not to take this one with me anywhere.
That's nice.
Well, I'll tell you a fun story. The Ride Boundless podcast started with, because you were talking about you don't want to ride with a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
I used to fucking ride with all this equipment.
Really?
Yeah, I would go to I remember one of my first podcasts was with Ventura Police Department. Quinn Rediker, he's one of those rodeo cops that does the cones and stuff like that.
Right.
And he would go to Europe and France and compete. And this guy's like a superstar in that. And he gave me one of my first interviews, and I was like, dude, that's badass. And I would just get a Pelican, pack it all up, fucking tie it up on the back of the bike, and I would ride boundlessly to wherever I had to do a podcast. And that's how the first 20 episodes were.
Was that the GS?
I was doing it with the GS, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it with the GS. Yeah,
Yeah,
now,
that's cool. It's amazing how much stuff you can actually strap on a bike if you need to.
yeah.
Watching the chopper guys is the best.
Yeah.
It's like it's just one sissy bar, and then you put everything on it.
Yeah, their wife, their luggage, an extra helmet. Like, what the fuck?
Sure.
Yeah. What else is going on with your life? Any new bikes you're gonna get, or you're happy, you're content with your bikes?
I don't know. I've got that XR 1200X is currently for sale. I mean, I don't know. I'm not lusting after anything.
Right.
But I always want another bike.
Right.
I'm always like looking at something. Like I said, my daily routine is iconic motorbike auctions, and then I go to Craigslist and see what's new for sale there.
Craigslist.
Yeah.
I haven't been on there in a long time.
Yeah, man, that's part of the daily routine.
Not Facebook Marketplace.
Oh yeah, well I list bikes on Facebook Marketplace, but yeah, sometimes I'll go look. I don't like Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
Just people are so nasty on there.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny. Like TikTok and Instagram, they're pretty neutral, and then on Facebook, you just get the nastiest people, extremely ignorant people.
Give me an example. I'm trying to process.
They throw politics into everything. It's like it's a food post.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're throwing politics into it. It's just like, come on, bro. Food is supposed to bring us together.
Right.
That's what I love about food, and I love about Los Angeles, is we have all these diverse cultures and all this wonderful food, and we get together, and we talk, and we get to know each other over this great food.
Dude.
And then on the internet, you got people that are just like little trolls in their basement, they need attention.
Just fucking hate.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that, because I posted on Facebook one time a drone shot of Malibu. My buddy just bought a house like the water splashes on his house, and I got this fucking drone shot of the coast. Beautiful. Beautiful. What can you say bad about that?
Lots of stuff.
All of a sudden, messages, bing, 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 comments, bing, 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 bing. I look, they turned this fucking beautiful post of PCH all political. All political. It started with, these houses were built over 60, 70 years. You guys talk about global warming. That fucking coastline and where the water goes has been the same for over 100 years. There is no global warming. Oh, yeah, you fucking said. And all of a sudden, people are just like arguing. And
it's amazing. And I don't know. I don't feed into it, and I try to recognize it. Like when I am on social media, there's Facebook or Instagram, you see a lot of people creating content that is specifically to get you to react.
Right.
A lot of time it's total bullshit. And I think the majority of people just don't realize it, that content is specifically for them to react. They don't give a shit what you think.
Right.
They just want you to comment and engage their post and promote it.
Yeah.
People just don't get that. So
I just started figuring that out myself personally.
Yeah.
Like not in that subject, but I've seen a lot of posts that you keep seeing like, oh, create your account like this and post 5 times a day and do that. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, none of that makes sense. You're just creating that for content. You're just creating that false information just to create content. Because then you start looking at these accounts, and they're obviously not doing nothing they're saying that you should do to have certain results. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of fake bullshit information just to
get a reaction.
Just get a reaction.
Sure.
Just to share it. Like, oh, that's interesting. And it's funny because all those videos, I have 4 or 5 different friends that send me those same videos. It's like, hey, Robert, you should try this. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, I see it so much now that I'm like, dude, this is bullshit. I call bullshit. Let me look into this. Yeah. Bullshit.
There's a lot of bullshit. Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
So I know, knowing that, I could create content that gets people to react in that way, but it's cringy to me. I don't do it. I just create honest content. I show off a restaurant. I show them the food that I think is good. Just try to keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid.
Has there been any place, I know you try to keep everything, why do I keep fucking stumbling my words? But you want to be like correct. You don't want to like fuck around with anything. But is there anything that you really had a bad experience? You'd be like, yeah, there's been
quite a few.
Yeah. And, but do you bring them up or no?
No.
You just avoid it.
My goal is I've kind of figured out where my role is. And I like to promote restaurants. I'm out there, if something's good, I want people to know about it.
Right.
Or if somebody needs business, I try to help them out. But if something sucks, you're not going to see it on my feed. I just don't post it, you know. And I usually don't talk shit about a restaurant or put them down because there's just no reason to. Sometimes I'll make fun of fast food.
Yeah. Just
because it's fun. But even then, I could be shooting myself in the foot because they're the ones with the money, and every once in a while a big brand deal comes along. So I try not to talk shit about fast food either.
It might be a silly question, but it's a legit question. I know you're a foodie, but what about desserts? What are do you have your favorite desserts? Do you love desserts as much as food?
Anything with sugar, yeah.
Yeah?
Sugar is crack. Let's see. Most recently, I love chocolate, which was just tainted for me because I was in Paris eating some of the best chocolate. When you come back here, it's kind of hard to find comparable chocolate. But I love a good dark chocolate. That's an amazing thing. Apparently, it's also good for you, right?
Right.
But and some of the restaurants, we have some really talented people. And every once in a while, like Nancy Silverton's Budino, I think it's called a Budino. But Nancy is a wizard with desserts. But in general, that's my wife's department. I let her order dessert, and I can tell like she's eyeing a couple and trying to make a decision. So I just order both of them. Yeah. Makes her happy.
Give her that. Have you had Zuma before? Zuma, the restaurant?
I don't think so.
They're inside. They have a few locations globally, but the nearest one I believe is inside the Cosmopolitan, Las Vegas.
Okay.
Fucking amazing food.
What kind of food is it?
It's Japanese, mixed with American.
Okay.
So it's lots of steaks and sushis and fucking. I mean, it's amazing.
That's usually a good pairing. Yeah.
It's a good fucking thing. They got good Wagyu beef. They got the tomahawks, which is fucking spectacular. They make a lot of stuff with truffle or black caviar. I mean, it's
sure, the whole show, right?
The whole fucking show. The drinks. It's my favorite place. That's another place I've been going for like 7 years. That's my go-to. Delicious. Highly recommend.
There's a place in downtown LA that you'll probably like called NQX.
I follow them. I haven't been there.
Yeah. If you want to go sometime, let me know.
That place anytime. Next week when I get back.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits. They'll probably invite me.
Yeah.
But
I'll set it up. I'll bring my camera. I'll even bring more equipment to make you look better. I'll film you.
Yeah, I remember. So the first time I went, I was under the weather. And it really sucked because I didn't really get to enjoy the meal. And I was with like a party of 8, and they all said it was a fabulous meal. But
I remember you sent a group message inviting us out to that, I think.
Yeah. But so I'd love to go back there, and I think you'd probably really like it.
Oh, man, I'd be honored.
Yeah.
For a place like that, honored. I saw them, loved it, and followed. I think I started following it because of you.
My post for them did really well.
Yeah. But I think we were in communication because I think you invited us. I think in the motorcycle group or something, you invited us to one place before.
It probably wasn't something like NQX.
Okay. No, because, you invited us to something before that weekend. You had something. You're like, hey, I can bring some people. and then you did that review separately. So I don't think it was for that place, but I know it was within that time gap or something. I was like, oh fuck, I hope that wasn't the place I missed out on.
But you know, another for if you're really just craving meat, Adam Perry Lang. I don't know if you know this, but I actually create content for him. He does barbecue pop-ups every weekend. He's currently,
Is that the Tomahawk guy that does the barbecue things?
Yeah, you've probably seen his videos, right?
I've seen his once again because of you.
Yeah.
Trust me, if I'm following any food thing right now, it's only because of you. Because I don't follow fucking food, but the guy that does all the tomahawks and like 20, 30 of them.
Yeah, he makes a show on the grill. Yeah,
shit's badass.
It's more than a show. The man really knows his meat, and it's wonderful to work with him because I learn a lot from him. It's great. Every time I go there, I'm asking questions like a little kid, and I get to learn something, which is really nice. One day I'll actually smoke something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should give him a shot. There is a line, but it's worth the wait.
Can I name drop?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Be like, get the fuck out of here.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, yeah. Those two things are I am following those two. I think those are the only two food accounts.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, I don't follow food.
Oh, yeah. You try to stay thin?
Yeah, I try, man. I try, but it's hard with a 4-year-old.
Dude, when I do the intermittent fasting and I'm scrolling through my feed at night, I'm just like, I gotta put it away because it's all food.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine. He did he was trying to do a 30-day fast.
No,
he made it to 22 days, but he did it with all the water and mineral and all that shit. He did it the right way, but it was so weird because all he was doing was watching the Food Network channel and food things. I'm like, dude, isn't this torturous? He goes, no, it doesn't bother me. I just like looking at it.
I was told that like after day 3 or 4, it gets much easier.
I would believe it. I've never done it. It's like the closest thing that I've ever done was like keto, and I would do like a 18-hour fast, and it was very hard trying that the first few days, but after like 4 or 5 days, like I can avoid anything. Like I didn't care for sugar.
You did keto plus intermittent
I did
fasting?
keto. Yeah, I wasn't eating too much, but I would only leave a few hours, and the hours that I wasn't eating, I was craving food like crazy.
But you lost weight.
After that, of course you lose weight, but the energy level was through the roof.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Energy level. They say you go into like when you're in ketosis, you're like in a starvation mode. Mm-hmm. And when you're in the starvation mode, that's like a hunter mode. So all your instincts and all your senses are like fucking heightened. So you're like, vision's better, your sense better. You're like, I don't know why I feel so fucking energized, because your body's going through like, it's time to hunt, motherfucker. Like, it's time to kill a bear or something. But it's interesting if you look at the science behind it. A lot of benefits.
Nice. I think I'll have to try it again. I'm getting a little chubby right now, eating all this good food.
Last thing, we'll leave it on, is how was Brazil? How was the meat in Brazil?
It's the meat in Brazil is amazing. I mean, those people know their meat, and it's funny because they have cuts we've never heard of. Like a ribeye is what Americans love. That's a cheap cut over there, and then picanha is expensive over there and cheap here, just because it's we desire different things. Yeah, but God, they really do know their meat. They have wonderful selections, and they know how to prepare it. The
flavors are good, huh?
Sorry?
The flavors are very rich and good, huh?
Oh, yeah. And, it's cooked simply and salted. They're not doing anything stupid with it. And that's really all. If it's good beef, that's all it needs.
Salt.
Just cook it right, a little bit of salt, and let the meat shine through.
Yeah, that's what Argentinians do with their barbecue.
Exactly.
Just salt.
Yeah, they know their meat as well.
Yeah.
But, Brazil was interesting. It's not a safe place, which kind of sucked because I was in Sao Paulo, which is a huge city. But the people I did interact with were wonderful.
Yeah.
Brazilians they're great.
But because people say it's not safe, like people say like many countries are not safe, but when you go there, you're like, it's pretty fucking cool. Like I can rock this. Did you notice like, oh, this is not safe? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, so a driver picked me up from the airport and took me to the hotel. and I had the window halfway down, and he said, put it up for security reasons.
Okay. Yes.
And then when I got checked into the hotel, they also warned me. They're like, if you're out on the street, do not have your phone out. Do not be filming like a tourist because they will snatch your phone.
Right.
So, it's not just like, it happens. And it's sad. And I went to a very swanky part of Sao Paulo where they have like the nice mall, and the whole mall was surrounded by armed security officers. So it is what it is.
I'm gonna drop this bomb, or not bomb, but this piece of information. I was telling you when I went to Dubai, you can leave a stack of cash, your friend's Rolex if you don't have one, your car keys, fucking anything of value. You can leave it on a table, and you can walk outside, go to one of the pools, grab a cocktail, jump into the sea, and come back, and everything is there. Nobody would even and the thing is, it's so safe that you don't even worry about it. Like, there's no possible way of anybody touching your stuff. Like, what a fucking difference.
Yeah, totally different.
Josh, let's do this again, man.
Yep. Thank you very much for having me on, man.
Oh, thank you. One more time, Instagram, website, where can people find you, all that fun stuff?
At the Hangry Writer, _Hangry_Writer. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. But if you want to follow along, I'd love to have you on the ride.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.